a lot of black screen.
Yep.
Then again, this is the Cursed franchise. There it goes.
Hooray! It's working!
It's working about as well as it could. Oh boy, are you folks at home ready for a treat? I have not played very far into this because I was waiting for someone to want to play this on the channel with me.
And Jay has suckered me into it.
Oh boy have I ever. This is going to be great.
Just like I suckered him into this terrible job.
Yep, so I'm a building attendant now, so me and Cameron both have the same job.
Just on opposite ends of the city at different buildings, but for the same group.
Yeah, working for the city.
Yep.
Oh boy. There it goes.
The two of us are the youngest people to have this job because it's mostly taken up by old people.
Yeah.
Basically, the entire job is that you sit around in your free government apartment waiting for something to go horribly wrong.
And assuming it doesn't, you have a lot of free time. It's pretty much a paid, neat position.
Yeah.
And the best part is I have commissions I take, so I make side money.
Yep.
Lucrative side business.
Yes. Actually, how many units is your building anyway?
So aside from the first floor, each floor is 10, so that's 40 plus 3 on the main floor. About 43.
Okay. Shit, I actually have 2 more units than you. Fine.
I mean, to be fair, your building's longer.
Yeah, it's also 2 small buildings.
Yeah, that'll do it.
As opposed to 1 low-rise. But yeah, basically, Jay supervises old people, and I supervise what I like to call the unemployable.
Really, it's functionally the same group.
Yeah.
Also, this is a hell of a party.
Holy fuck. She's already in pieces!
Yeah, but how else are you going to get her out of there?
Just melt her!
The FBI don't got time for that. Also, I suppose in theory she'll melt faster if you make the ice smaller.
Yeah, that's true. Still though, like, it's a government agency.
It took
88 hours with a fucking chainsaw?
It was a pretty big block of ice.
What a way to start the new year. This rate I'll be dead by Easter.
Quiet down, Agent Jones. You're on the clock.
Quiet down? Ha! You have any idea what you've done? I'd be half naked in Havana right now if you hadn't shown up. Soaking up some rays, surrounded by a harem of bikini queens, a mojito in one hand, and a seafood-slathered Havana-style pizza in the other.
That part I believe.
Yeah.
Does God hate me?
The entire pizza.
The regional bureau
Oh, yeah.
Pizza.
How could I forget?
All right.
Agent Jones, don't let him take control of the conversation. The moment you let your guard down, he'll strike.
I can't lie, that dude looks a lot like the Black Knight owner, Jay.
Oh my god, he does.
And no red, remember?
Man, I haven't been there in a while.
Mm-hmm. I mean, to be fair, the Residence Cascade incident has been closing a lot of places.
Yeah.
Black Knight's open now, but like, for the longest time, you actually had to book an appointment to shop in store.
Yeah, but I haven't been there for like 2 years prior to the Resonance Cascade, so...
I mean, to be fair, 90% of the stuff you've needed from there, we've bought you for your birthdays anyway.
That's true.
Including that one time I just got you an entire memes worth of D&D memes. Yeah.
You got me a bunch of D&D figures that were references to the horrible actions your character's taken. And Chris's illiteracy.
He'll never get to use that T-Rex.
Okay,
never ever.
So in one of our D&D games, we had a dude named Chris who was playing a druid who wanted to polymorph into a T-Rex. Because, I mean, obviously, it's legitimately the strongest creature in the base books that you can polymorph into. But one of the rules I have is that in order to polymorph into something, you have to, at the very least, to be aware of it. So Chris would make a habit of stopping by every library, every bookstore, every learned person's house in an attempt to find a book that features dinosaurs in it.
Those are some mighty red eyes.
And every single time, he would roll a natural 1.
Yeah.
So after a while, we just sort of started saying that Chris was illiterate.
Oh, man. I started making the joke that he rolled enough ones that he shouldn't even know what he's looking for anymore.
Alright, so what is the deal with this game? Do you know anything about the plot?
It's a prequel to Deadly Premonition 1,
Ooh.
but it's framed as a... well, I mean, they'll explain how it's framed, and you're gonna understand real fucking fast what's going on. But, like, clearly, Old Man York, so that should tell you roughly how much later this takes place.
Yeah. Oh, so it's one of those things where he's, like, recounting his past.
Yeah.
Mr.
All right.
Morgan, before we question you, allow me to first read you your rights. Anything you say may be used against you in a court of law. Please keep that in mind
I
as you
fought a
speak.
demon man! He was a cop!
He turned into a fly,
permission to
and
film
he,
this?
he turned my girlfriend into a tree.
Oh, Deadly Premonition was super fucked. I loved it. Wait, did York always have a scar that
Don't worry,
big?
my fairy. You're free to do
No,
whatever
that's
you
a
like.
new one, because this old scar he had was on his cheek.
Something
Right.
wrong, Mr. Morgan?
He didn't, like, get it in the epilogue of the Demon Fighter, did he?
I don't
I'm
believe so,
FBI
but I
Special
think that's
Agent
the
Lily Davis.
implication.
Mrs.
Because, I mean,
Simon
like, that was a pretty fucked up fight.
Yeah.
An analyst from the Boston branch.
Yeah, I'd be pretty fucked up and mentally scarred
He's
too
been
if I
monitoring
was all that
us for years now.
garbage.
Oh,
Yeah, us, me and my imaginary
Hi.
friend.
Yeah. So it gets weirder. His imaginary friend is much weirder now.
Wait, I was right?
No, did you not hear him refer to him and his fairy?
Oh, I thought he was...
a Southern
talking to
belle and a lonesome
He was.
loser who can't catch a break.
Okay.
Quite the uncanny duo.
Oh,
You'd be
boy.
the perfect
Trust me,
stars
this,
for the
this
latest
opening scene.
video game. Isn't that right, my
Yeah.
fairy?
There.
Okay. I thought he was talking to, like, the woman who was
How
actually
many
in the movie,
years
there,
has it
just
been
referring to her by a weird
since
nickname.
someone
because
came
No,
to...
no.
fucking suit is a
He
weird-
does do that, though.
Oh, but... Don't ask me about my fairy.
There it is.
That's a private matter.
Yep.
It's hard to tell what he's thinking, but my eyes can't be deceived.
Enter detective vision.
Pretty
If he's
much.
hiding something, it'll come out in his face.
Fucking every game company puts A in a different place. Okay, so you can pretty much, we can either go straight for the pertinent things, or we can ask about his life.
Let's ask about the dumb bullshit.
You solved many difficult
Pretty much, yeah.
cases across your career, utilizing
Yeah,
your
that's
own
one way to
unique
put it.
MO. You've expertly cracked cases that were otherwise thought to be
Yeah,
unsolvable.
you just have to shovel pie into your
According
mouth
to our
and
records.
case solves itself.
No, don't forget, you have to look
After
to the
joining
top.
the FBI in 2002, you quickly solved 2 drug ring-related kidnapping cases. In 2003, you solved the inside-out flesh skinner case in the suburbs of Pittsburgh.
That's a fucking
That's a case.
fuck.
It's like that fog that turns you inside out.
In
Just
2004,
one with
the
that
Jeffrey
fog,
Dahmer
you're
wannabe.
inside out.
Oh, the Jeffrey Dahmer wannabe. That's. Ooh, I don't like that one at all.
And also the stuffed human collector case in St. Louis. That
Oh
very same
god, they
year.
just keep getting worse.
Then, in 2005, you coincidentally happened to solve the Lise Clarkson murder case while on vacation.
Oh man, I thought they were gonna go into like, oh, you solved why all those
You went
random
on to
body
solve
parts
many other
kept washing
cases
up on
after
a beach or
that,
some
all of
shit.
them seemingly inexplicable. Did you really solve
You
these
kept finding
cases
out
all
why
on
only
your
left
own?
feet wash up on Manitoba.
Oh shit! Yeah, in British Columbia.
Yeah, that
For
was it.
some,
There are
okay,
no
the
records
reason
of you using
feet
a
keep washing
wide-scale
up on British
investigative
Columbia
team
is because
or
the
working
ankle is
with
one of the
anyone
weakest joints of
else.
the body. So whenever there's a corpse in the water,
That's the part that'll come
that's-
off.
Yeah, but it's always left feet.
Yeah.
Which is fucking weird.
Maybe the right feet go to a different beach.
Yeah. They position the corpses underwater at the exact point where the Coriolis effect will send the feet to different continents.
We don't know. We don't ask Africa if right feet wash up on them.
I mean, considering the way some parts of Africa function, that would be the strangest thing to wash up on their shores.
No, it would probably be the least concerning.
Like all the nuclear waste that
How
washes
did
up
you
in...
ever accomplish
what's
such
the pirate
monumental
country?
feats
Somalia?
all by yourself?
Yeah.
Is that why they have so many pirates that were bitten by radioactive buccaneers?
The reason they have so many pirates is because they're desperately poor and their government is too weak to enforce laws.
I was going to say they're desperately poor, they don't have good law enforcement, and they're on a coast where a lot of ships go by.
Yeah.
Partner,
It's kind of
the
convenient.
FBI files show no record of you
It's
ever
also the
working
reason
with
why
a
there's so
partner.
much nuclear waste washing up on their shore. Because
Do you mean you
their
work for some
government
sort
is
of
too weak
unofficial
to
partner?
prevent
Or an
people from
outside
just
confidant?
dumping plutonium all over their shoreline?
Partner is a partner.
So I'm going to call it right now.
Together.
York's
Besides,
Fairy is the
You're
player.
forgetting one important thing.
More than likely. I haven't gotten very far, but I mean, considering the twist from the last game, I'm assuming
After the
it's like
St. Louis case,
York has a mental problem, obviously. And,
we stopped by a diner on our way home and caught Thelma and Louise, two highly sought-after fugitives.
Jesus Christ. I mean, yeah, I would not be shocked if the twist is that the people he keeps talking about, like Zack in the first game and the Fairy now, are just
Excuse me, Mr.
Suda
Morgan,
being weird about how you're puppeting a man
but would you
around.
please refrain from consuming that while we speak? I'm talking about...
Did you ever play Bravely Second?
No, but I remember a lot of details about the first one, mostly because of you.
Okay, well, in Bravely Second, which
Getting
I
our
think
way
is
in.
about to be non-canon because Bravely Default 2 is coming out. That, or it's going to be like a weird, like, pseudo game.
I was gonna say either that, or maybe it'll be like Final Fantasy, where it's not a direct sequel, just a completely different story with the same kind of beats.
Could be. But anyway, in Bravely
Unfortunately,
Second,
questioning doesn't work like that.
one of the characters who joins your party later is Tiz, who is the original
Our data needs to be consistent.
protagonist of the first game. And
Now, please,
he
put out
won't
that
stop
stinking
talking about
indulgence
the voices
right
in his
this-
head. Later on,
What?
he winds up possessed by one of those voices. And that voice is the player from the first game,
Ah, that's neat.
right?
If we say no.
So throughout the entirety of
Then I'll
Bravely
put it out
Default,
myself.
he was possessed by you.
Using force.
And in Bravely Second, he's possessed by
Whoa,
you
whoa,
again, while you
Aaliyah.
fight against him.
This is
This
Morgan's
one
house.
Specific fight.
So I just want to point out what's sitting behind Simon there.
Just a shit ton of milk.
Yeah, but look what happened to it.
He boxed it up.
He taped it up for some reason.
Why?
I don't
Besides,
know.
it's legal in Massachusetts for individuals to consume cannabis in the comfort of their own homes.
Oh yeah,
And
in
I mean,
Japan apparently it's
come
a
on.
huge fucking thing to like smoke pot. Like
It's
people
medicinal.
have to come out and apologize if they're caught smoking pot.
Yep.
Like
Exactly.
if they're celebrities, it's a whole big deal. Whereas, like, it comes out that Carrie Fisher took literally every drug under the sun and nobody cared.
Yeah, I mean,
Bill.
in the States, you get... I mean, you know, morality is fucking
Why
weird
are you
when
dressed
get into
so
different countries.
handsomely?
What's the matter, York? You don't
What
like
are
a
you
lady in a
talking
suit? Because I'm all about that.
The thick black accessory wrapped around your neck.
Oh fuck! One of the
That's
things
a
that really
male
bugged me
necktie.
about cannabis
The color
legalization
black
in
represents
Canada
confidence and interest in
is
yourself.
that so many people,
And
despite the government's best efforts to say no, this
decision
isn't
to
true,
wear a male
think
tie
that
symbolizes
driving while
declaration
high
of
is
war
perfectly
against
legal.
a predominantly
Like, I don't know
male
how many
society.
times I've seen an argument from some moron
Or
on,
perhaps-
like, some issue, like, why is this stupid thing illegal, but it's perfectly legal to drive while smoking pot? And it's like, no, it's not. It never was. You're just an
psychological
idiot.
meant to hide.
I mean, that's the thing. Is like I don't.
that dwells
I
deep
think
within
people
your psyche.
tend to be confused when you hear the term legal
Admire your
marijuana. They
bravery.
don't seem to understand that it just means legal to consume. It does not mean legal to do anything else with it.
Yeah.
I actually did find out that in my building I have permission in that little garden of mine to grow
Oh yeah, you're allowed to grow up to 2 plants.
which is something I intend to do next season.
Yep, I'm allowed to do the same.
Easy wonder
In
Plus,
order
I have
to
that
favor
extra bedroom in the back
society.
that I don't really use for anything, and the government pays for all of my
A man
hydro and
must
water
first gouge out
consumption.
his
Same
eyes
here.
and cut off. Don't judge a
Oh
book
god,
by
is this
its
going to
cover.
turn into your pot room, Jay?
Oh god.
Or are you actually going to grow it outside?
I'm not allowed to smoke inside the room.
What? Oh shit, yeah, because you
Because it-
moved in after January 1st, and everyone
Yeah.
after January 1st isn't allowed to smoke anything inside the building.
Yep. So I have to either smoke at the public area or on my patio, which is what I intend to
For
do.
someone who's
it'll be,
supposed to have been one of our best.
No, I'm not going to do that one thing that those people in your building did, where they tried to plant on the floor and it soaked through.
Okay, this wasn't my building, but I feel like we
I
have to
did
tell
all
the
that
story.
smoke and kill
I think
all
we've told
the
it many
best
times,
ones.
but go ahead. It's always funny.
Okay, so basically, I
Okay,
know a
Aaliyah,
guy who
that's
knows a
enough.
guy. I don't even know how
She's
many
smart,
what
but
no,
she's also more of
okay,
a
it's
shrew
2
than she lets
degrees
on.
of separation from me, so take it with
Agent
whatever grain of
Jones.
salt you will.
That's sexual
But
harassment.
someone who works a similar job to me and Jack, went into someone's apartment because there were concerns with a
So,
leak.
Belle,
And like
does that
generally, when
barrier
you
of
go in
yours
to see a
also
leak,
protect you
walk
from
in, find out what
violent
pipe it's from,
criminals?
and then call the plumber.
Yep. That's
But-
what I had to do recently, actually.
Yeah, but this leak happened over a
It's more
bedroom where there
dangerous
were no
than I
pipes
think.
in the ceiling. So
Can't read it.
the guy's first response
We'll just
is
have to
to
assault
go
and
upstairs
head
and
on
see
with
what's happening on
questions
the
then.
floor above.
First, I'll try using the files on the table.
So
to
knocks
shake
on the
them.
door and says like, "Hey, it's an emergency. If you don't let me in, I'm coming in because this is going to damage the building." So eventually, they begrudgingly let him
Mr.
inside,
Morgan,
and he goes into the building. He
May
goes
I
into
ask
the,
you a
into
question
the bedroom
purely
that's
out of
above the
curiosity?
leak,
If it makes
and
you
finds that
uncomfortable,
the
just let
entire
me know.
place is covered in a good
And
2
I'll
feet of
retract it.
soil with a whole bunch of plants just
What's wrong?
planted on the soil.
You sure put a lot of effort into that
inside of this fucking apartment
It's a
building. They were
question
trying
about
to do an
death.
indoor farm. And when you do that,
About
and just
this
put the
spot?
dirt right on the ground,
Are you
the
afraid?
water has nowhere to go. There's no sun to evaporate it. There's no
Yeah.
heat.
What's
So
coming?
it just seeps into the bottom of the dirt where it pools and eventually leaks
Think
through.
carefully.
So these
about
people got
why we're
evicted,
smoking
and they wound
this.
up having to
Then
rip
ask
up
us
the
again.
entire floor
Honestly,
in order to get rid of all
We're
the
not
rotten
afraid.
boards that had happened
Rather
because
we
they've
find
been
it intriguing.
farming in an apartment building for God knows how long. Fucking idiots.
Intriguing.
yes.
So far, the only problem I've had is one guy who smokes indoors, and apparently, like you said, technically they're allowed to do that, but he also smokes right next to the front door.
Yeah, you're not allowed to do
Not
that.
allowed to do that, and he's doing like, well, I've been
Yeah.
grandfathered in, and like me and the other building attendant are both like, yeah, you can smoke in your room, you can't smoke here.
Yep.
This isn't your property anymore. You're forced to
Have
abide
you
by
ever
law.
been to the Grand Canyon in winter?
I have, by
No.
the way.
In the dead of winter, the Grand Canyon is terribly cold.
He's not wrong. It's bizarrely cold for the
Colder
middle of
than
a
you
fucking
could imagine.
desert.
The cold
if you
that
get
no
deep enough into the
photograph
canyon,
could
I
ever
guess.
express.
No, even up top.
Really?
I don't know why.
The
I would
sun-
not have expected. Like, I imagine it gets super
Hours.
cold during the night, but like
and
during the day
temperature
even?
drops
During the
below
day,
zero.
it was actually cold enough that I needed a jacket in the Nevada sun.
What the
right in the
fuck?
middle
Yeah.
of the day.
I think it's like something about how big the valley is. The wind goes
Yeah,
down
right
and
in the
then
middle
up.
of the day.
Meaning,
Yeah.
Meaning, you can't.
It's also shockingly
really
green.
understand something
Huh.
until
In
you
the area,
experience
anyway.
it. If you want to learn more about
That's
it,
also strange.
you need to gain more
expected that.
experience.
Yeah, they had a lot more trees and like life, but it's like it's weird because it's like the canyon itself is like a cut, and the skin in like what would be the skin around the cut that gets all red and puffy.
Yep.
That's all desert.
Right.
But then immediately, it's almost like a hard line where the vegetation starts growing again.
Huh. I guess all the pictures I've seen have just been of the cut itself
Yeah.
and not
Yeah.
of like the area around it.
Yeah, the Grand Canyon's a weird place.
that chessboard
Really
looks
impressive to
rather
see, though.
old.
Oh, I mean.
And you can't even buy those ivory pieces anymore.
Right. They were banned by the
They
Sites
don't let you
Treaty.
do that.
That was made in France in the 1900s. We know it's in
So
bad
apparently one of the
taste.
things about the Sites Treaty
But
that's, or
the weight
some
of
incredibly
the
rich
ivory
people, is
just
that
feels so
some
good
old
in
works
our
of art
hands.
used to have
You play
ivory.
chess alone?
Right.
And because of the Sites Treaty, you can't give the art to anyone else, and
Is that a
you can't,
crime?
you can't buy it or sell it,
No.
and you can't even donate.
But it's a hard
under
game
some
to enjoy when
circumstance
you're
or
all
another.
by yourself.
But
He's
the one thing you
probably
can
just
do is
replicating
pass it
famous
along to your
games.
children. So some families
Or
are
trying to
stuck
solve
with
problems
like a
from a chess
$25
workbook.
million
Right, Logan?
piece of art that they have to pass down to a child. And that child then gets taxed
I
on
may
it,
not look it,
despite the
but
inability
I'm
to sell
actually
it.
a bit of a chess nut myself. When
What
I
do you
was
do
in
with
school,
it? Like,
I used
destroy
to
it is
pore
the
over
correct
every
answer.
issue of
You,
Chess Life,
like,
the
have to
magazine
destroy
published by
that
the
work
U.S.
of art.
Chess Federation.
that's unfortunate.
Yep.
Well, unfortunately,
Like,
your
you can't
guess
even
is
donate it
completely
to a
wrong,
museum
Agent Jones.
because you'd receive a tax credit for doing that, and that would be seen as receiving money for.
Could you do it anonymously? I guess.
I don't know.
I mean, I would assume. Actually, that's a
He
good
isn't
point.
replicating
if
a famous
you,
game,
even if you donate
nor
something
is he
anonymously, you
solving
still get a tax
workbook
credit.
problems.
Mhm.
It's just that the public doesn't know who donated it.
That's fair.
But if you were to
There
just
isn't a
like
single chess book
dump
to be
it on
found in this
the
apartment.
doorstep of an art museum, they'd probably hang it up.
And I didn't find any
Just don't tell
chess-related
anyone you're doing
websites
it.
in his internet history. He was simply playing chess. All alone.
Yeah.
Against this fairy.
So,
That fairy's just really high.
what's wrong with that, Belle?
That would be really interesting. Make a move sober and then get super wasted and make another move against yourself because you're functionally two people. That
Yeah,
I don't
and then go
understand.
again once you like 2 moves a day. One
Yeah.
from sober you and one from like blazed you.
Is it more or less embarrassing if Blazed You wins?
I don't know.
How did he put me in check?
How could a single human being seriously play as both sides?
You just
There
publicly
is
confessed
actually
to
a
stealing
thing
personal
called the
data.
Balmer curve.
Seems like that's
Which suggests
much
that your
bigger
skill in
problem.
programming improves when drunk up to a point.
Oh no.
Yep.
Everything
And it's
was
a
done
very
in
low
a
point.
perfectly
It's
legal
like
manner.
0.06% blood alcohol.
We simply happened to intercept a
But
handful
there
of
is
data being
actually
sent
a
out from an
specific
unknown
point where you are
origin.
inebriated enough that you
Ooh,
get creative
she's
in
really
ways
trying
that
to
you wouldn't
scare us.
previously, but aren't so divorced
That's my
from reality that you forget what you're
serious
supposed to be doing.
nightmare fuel.
Do you
Yeah,
remember
we
the
gotta
homicides that took
We
place in
gotta keep
Lucara,
interrogating
Louisiana in 2005?
Francis Rick Morgan.
We solved that case.
Your report states the following. By coincidence, you encountered a serious incident in a town you visited while on vacation. You then decided to steal the right
Yep.
to investigate
Why are there
from the
6
local
pages
law
about
enforcement
pie?
and took over the case. After several more
really
homicides,
good
you
pie.
managed to apprehend the perpetrator.
Damn good pie you have in Twin Peaks.
Yes. Yes. Yes, that's exactly what happened. We stole the right to investigate from them, just as you said.
It all started when the body of a
To be fair,
16-year-old
it's-
girl was discovered.
It turned out to be a really good idea because it was the
You
cop the
arrived in
whole time.
Lucara immediately after that, didn't you?
We just can't seem to keep ourselves away from dead girls.
Oh,
Did you
that's
really
a
visit
bad
that
thing
town
to
just
say
to
out of
take a
context.
vacation?
So incidentally, like I said, this is a prequel to Deadly Premonition. So the case they're talking about did happen before the war.
If you already have the report, then we suggest you read it, Belle. Either way, that case is closed.
Closed. You sure about that? Don't you think this puzzle is still missing some crucial pieces?
Yeah, this is what makes this
Come on.
interesting.
No need to beat around the bush with us, Belle.
what they found?
They found Lise Clarkson's body. It was hidden deep within the Clarkson Food Delivery Services cold storage warehouse.
After 14 years, we finally discovered the body of the very first victim. Do you know what this means? That's why we're here.
Yeah, that's a big
Victim in
deal.
the case he solved.
Putting you back on the case, York.
This is a photograph of what she looks like now. How will he react when he sees it?
Right now, as he is in this shot, he looks like the Vulture from the animated Spider-Man cartoon.
Yeah, you're right.
Or Mr. Burns.
Pleased that her body turned up. Deeply pleased.
You claim to have closed this case, but now a lost body suddenly surfaced. Aren't you curious about the details?
It's entirely possible to solve a case without finding the body.
Body
You don't need every piece
We
of
already
evidence all the
solved
time.
that
It just
case.
makes it more conclusive.
Lisa's body.
Especially if, like in the
Change
first
anything
game, a
now.
demon admitted to it, then you can concretely say.
Yeah.
And it certainly has nothing to do with
Like,
us.
if some pertinent details have come
I
up that
suspect the
changes
body was
York's
stored there
conclusion,
rather than
whatever.
abandoned, due to the unnatural
Like,
state it was found in.
Fuck.
She was found
Well, yeah,
frozen
you
in a
don't
storage
accidentally chop up a corpse and then freeze it perfectly in, like...
A block.
Therefore, she looks exactly the same as she did when she disappeared. In
Like, unless you
fact,
found some
she's in
fingerprints
such
on that
good
body,
condition
which
that
I
we can
highly
even
doubt.
determine the murder weapon and cause of
I'm
death.
not sure if ice would preserve the fingerprints or ruin them.
I would assume ruin them, because fingerprints are oil. And when oil freezes, it gets fucked up.
Okay.
Well,
Not to mention, like, even if it was frozen in ice 16 years...
Even stranger is how
16
unbelievably
years.
beautiful she looks. At first glance, few would guess she was a murder victim at all. She looks more like a piece of art, or a mythological figure from a painting.
this keeps getting better and better.
Better and
I
better?
mean, to be real, I would use, like, a thing like that as a model in a game, because that'd be rad.
Yeah, it's
that
almost
right,
like
my
someone did
fairy?
exactly that.
Yeah. You know.
Corpse
Yeah.
as beautiful as a goddess. Sounds just like our story.
That's the case.
Yes.
Also, there was something remarkably similar to that in Warcraft 3. The original Lich King was a skeleton frozen
went
in a
okay.
giant block of ice sitting on a throne.
Now I'm sure that Morgan's hiding something. I'm
and
gonna
it
be
like
able to get what I
communicated
want if we
telepathically
go
with
deeper
the
into the
Burning Horde. It
documents.
was actually a really cool concept. And then Arthas sat on the throne.
We can ask about
Who
the
is
chess
it?
game again.
This my fairy character you keep speaking
He
to.
told you not to ask about it.
You can't see her. Such bad manners.
Oh, okay.
Ratman?
No. On the corner there, for a second, I thought he had a DVD copy of
You
Godzilla.
barge into our apartment.
Because it looks a lot like one of the
about
covers
who
of
else is
Godzilla
living
vs.
here.
Mechagodzilla, but it's not.
Okay.
Dissociative identity disorder.
There you go.
In the past, it was known as multiple personality disorder.
Yeah.
You were subjected to an internal probe only once
I
during
apologize in
your career,
advance
correct?
that this opening is very
They
dry.
suspected
It's kind
that
of
you
hard
had
to...
DID,
Because, like, I don't want to
but
talk
you denied it,
over this too much, because this
and no
is
problems arose during
kind of a
the test.
fascinating character study, but this is not the best for her.
Is this how you dealt with the
I'm gonna
psychological
probably make this
profiler
entire
back then,
opening
too?
scene, because at most it's only 30 minutes. I'm gonna make this like one episode
Saying
series.
strange things, weaving unrelated matters
'Cause
together.
To be perfectly blunt, I'm pretty sure
Is that
anyone
how
who's
you
watching
slipped
this is
through?
watching for what's going to come
You're
after.
free to draw your own conclusions, Belle. But my fairy clearly exists. She's been sitting right there on your lap this entire time. Hey, stop it. No violence allowed in here, Belle. Wouldn't want to scare my fairy. Now, would
Don't attack my imaginary friend.
Yeah. I can't remember. Is hating red something that York did in the first game? Or is that new?
Okay, so both are important. It's new, but it's undoubtedly
there
related
someone
to the
else you
first
should have
game.
talked to before coming to us? Such as...
We were unable to reach Patricia Clarkson. You look surprised.
No, I meant the lady in the
I
ice.
thought you already knew.
Yeah.
After all, you visited Louisiana last week. We assumed you met with her during your time there.
We haven't been to Louisiana. Not in 14 years.
Is that so?
We've been right here in our apartment this entire time.
All 14
That
years.
man
right
is our
here.
witness. Aren't you, Simon?
He's right. He didn't even take a single step outside on Christmas Eve. Which means that I didn't get to either.
Are you positive about that? I took the liberty of
So you want to
checking
come
some
down to
airline
Brazil with
records.
me so that I can hit on girls?
Last Friday, the name Billy Bishop was listed on a morning flight out of Boston. This is the fake name you used to use as an agent, isn't it?
A mere coincidence.
Yet that's not all. That evening on the same day,
So are you accusing him of the ability to
Be into-
teleport? Or are you accusing Simon of
a man with a large
incompetence?
scar on his forehead allegedly purchased an '89
No,
Cadillac
it's not
from a small
dissociative
used car
identity
lot in
disorder.
New
There are
Orleans.
actually 2 Yorks.
He reportedly said he wanted something old, big, and strong.
Zach and York finally are two
The
different
owner of the
people.
car lot felt it was a strange order, so it stuck in his mind.
Our world is filled with mysteries. And they always have the most bizarre timing.
Just like that sentence.
Just like dialogue written by Suda51.
Incidentally, on the following day, an identical
I'm
Cadillac was taken
legitimately
to a
curious
scrapyard in
as to
Trenton,
the legal procedure
Trenton, New
of like
Jersey.
how valid testimony
You can
is
find
when
that
given
type of car
clearly highest
anywhere.
clause.
Isn't that right?
Probably about
Blackberry?
as legal as testimony given while drunk.
I'm not even sure about that though. Excuse me. Like, can you accept that testimony? Can you accept it, but only under certain circumstances? Is it completely unuseful in court?
You may be wondering why we decided to unearth all these old files.
Everything happens for a reason.
Like, I imagine if someone was in, say, a car crash while drunk, they'd have to take the statements right away because, like, that's what you do.
The moment Lise
And
Clarkson's
then
body
maybe
was found,
we
we
take
did
the
the best we
statements
could
once
to
they're
start
sobered
our
up.
own local investigation.
I guess.
But there wasn't much we could actually investigate due to the damage caused by the hurricane.
Then we assume you also questioned everyone who worked in the warehouse.
Of course. We questioned all the
did you-
Clarkson Food
speaking
Delivery
of,
Services employees who
corpses that were
staffed
just
the
sitting
warehouse
around for
and
a
its
long ass
owner.
time.
Where's
We
this
still
going?
have yet to obtain any key testimony.
Did you hear about that prop house where they had what they thought was a dummy corpse for years and years and years?
Minus the course with a
Yeah.
14-year-old
And
bitch.
then one of the
If
heads
you-
fell off, and someone was like, "Oh no,
Mm.
it's a real
Not to
body."
mention how bad the timing was.
I'm shocked
Most of
it
the
lasted that
employees were
long,
on
honestly.
vacation.
Yeah, it was like a preserved corpse from the Wild West days that was
You gave
sold
up
as a
on the
prop,
investigation
and
came to
like
see
they
us
knew it was a corpse when
instead.
they bought it. But it had been so long that everyone who was around when they bought the corpse and when buying corpses was still acceptable.
Didn't know
Remember
anymore.
what happened?
Yeah, everyone had retired or died,
That
and
warehouse.
everyone who came in
That
since
man.
wasn't told about it, and they just thought it was prop.
Hey, are you talking about
And it was like
the
some
guy who
famous dead
managed the
criminal.
vault where Lisa's body was found? Yeah, I think he started working there in 2005. Remember, Aaliyah? You said he was a pain to deal with, too.
I like Simon. He seems like a nice guy.
Yep.
Perhaps too nice for this job, but
And perhaps a little optimistic as to his chances with the ladies.
yeah. Then again,
No
he
need
spent
to
nothing
ask him.
but years of his life
you
watching
don't
York,
want
so
to.
maybe he is a little crazy now.
I'm sure you've already put him under surveillance.
Much like the people who have had to watch Chris Chan.
Textbook FBI protocol.
No one has to watch Chris Chan, they choose to watch Chris Chan.
I don't feel like there's a choice at that point.
Maybe they're so committed at this. Maybe like they've
Morgan's
done it
right.
so long that they feel
Everything
like
happens
committed
for a
now.
reason. Even this messy room.
Chris Chan might
must
be
be
the
a
single
reason
most
for it.
well-documented human in all of
Especially
history.
when it comes to those strangely tidy spots.
Either in
They're
spite
practically
of or
begging me to
because
question.
of him being a complete and total weirdo.
I would say because of.
I'm not even sure about Chris Chan's gender anymore, if I'm honest.
Yeah, didn't he? I know
A stinking indulgence.
became
And a
she, and then I'm
massive
not sure.
DVD collection.
I know that at one point, Chris Chan started identifying as female in an attempt to date a lesbian.
You must live a very
And that didn't
comfortable
work.
life.
And then started identifying as male again. But I remember hearing somewhere that Chris Chan went back to identifying as a
We're
woman, but I
retired.
really don't follow the whole saga.
Retired in your 40s.
So I don't know if that's true or
I'm
not,
envious.
or if they've gone back to
But
being
who
a man
doesn't
again.
love movies,
what the
Belle?
deal is.
I'm not a fan.
Oh, that won't do.
Either
should
way, he
dedicate all
apparently
the free time you have
refuses
to
to
watching
acknowledge the new
movies.
Sonic the Hedgehog
It's
movie.
films
Oh yeah, because he has blue arms.
guide us. Films are filled with
It's a
every
shame too, because
important
that,
life lesson
by
there
the
is.
metrics of the Academy up until this year, Sonic the Hedgehog would be winning all the awards because it was the best film that
Is that so?
I mean, it
For
was,
example,
and then the
They Live.
fucking event happened.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
It's because of
1988.
the Resonance Cascade failure. Sonic the Hedgehog's the best movie of the year.
Yeah.
That film
Well, not a lot of
taught
films
us a
come out during the
valuable
third
lesson.
impacts.
Yeah, I like that.
Always put on your sunglasses before a fight.
Incidentally, the Sonic the Hedgehog. Oh yeah, you saw it with us. It was great.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
No?
I saw it twice, actually.
Got a
Same.
point.
Fuck, this is the world we live in. I saw Sonic the Hedgehog twice, but I didn't go to see the new Star
Movies
Wars
teach us
movies.
about everything we need
the
to
eighth
know.
one was what made me
I
go
learned
like,
about
I don't
the
need
right
to
way
see
to
where
eat
this is
frozen
going.
pizza from Cobra. It's
I
one of
watched
Stallone's
7.
films.
I watched Rogue
Before
One.
that, I wouldn't be
Both
caught
of them were
dead
fine,
trying to
but
eat
nothing
frozen
spectacular.
Mm.
And then everyone started saying that 8
I
sucked,
thought it wasn't
and
fit
I
for
figured,
human
why spend
consumption.
my money?
pizza. But that film changed
And then I just
my
never got
life.
around to watching them online or anything.
Simon, that has nothing to do with the film.
I just don't have
You're
a
just
strong
talking
enough
about
attachment.
pizza.
I have a theory right now that everything Star Wars creates is good except the movies.
I
Do you
mean,
like
I would
fresh
argue
vegetable
that
juice?
the original trilogy was good, and Episode 3 was fine for
No,
what
no,
it had to be.
I mean like modern Star Wars.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Like the games are good.
There's a
the
juicer in your
board
sink
games are
that
good. The
hasn't
video
been
games
washed
are good.
yet.
The comics are good. The novels are good. The toys are
And
great.
do I smell the
The movies
faint
are bad.
fragrance of baked
The movies
beans?
are the only weak link in the
You
franchise.
didn't use much salt.
The show is great,
Oh, yeah, The Mandalorian is probably some of the best TV I've watched
What are
ever.
you in?
but whoever's managing the brand has no idea what the fuck they're doing because they didn't
You just
even
told
think
me
to
that you
have Baby
find
Yoda
impending
merchandise
death to be
available for
intriguing.
purchase when The Mandalorian came out.
That confused me.
That was Kathleen Kennedy who was in charge of the...
When
I mean,
look
to be
around
fair,
the room, all I can see
you would
are
hardly
many
be the
ways
first
in
person to
which you're
accuse her of
resisting death.
incompetence.
I don't know if it was her or if it was a
Polyamorous
merchandiser.
treatment,
But
highly
like, who
concentrated
decides
vitamin
that
C
this
IVs,
cute, cuddly little thing that's going
fresh
to be
vegetable
on the
juice,
fucking
vegetable
killer app of
protein
Disney
without
Plus
salt,
isn't going to get a toy, especially
gallons
from a
of vitamin
series
D
that so
milk with
famously
fat
made most of
and
its money
calcium.
from toys.
I mean, I could almost understand their, like,
The ambivalence.
their
Yeah.
trepidation, given how bad the movies were doing at the time, but at the same... Because, I mean... So, the big thing about Star Wars merchandise was this is the first time in history, up until The Mandalorian, that Star Wars toys were making a loss.
Really, the toys were making a
Adult.
loss.
Yeah,
True
nobody
love.
wanted the Episode 8 toys.
Never satisfied.
Yeah, I know those stuck on pegs forever, especially the Rose toys.
Rose, Rey,
Right, my
And
Finn, and... See, that's the problem, is, like, Episode 7 had Finn and Poe have, like, promise, and then Episode 8 made them into incompetent buffoons.
that's
And you don't buy toys of an incompetent buffoon. That's why Jar Jar toys didn't move. Or no, Jar Jar toys did move. He was fun. I can say that as a guy who was a kid when that came out.
Mr. Morgan,
Like, now as an adult, Jar Jar is objectively a problem. But as a kid, he was fun.
I found several spots in this room that look strangely clean.
that's where
Did
the
you
fairy
tidy up
sits.
a bit because
My
you knew we were
perfectly
coming?
triangular fairy.
No, that's his pizza spot. He has to put pizza there and only there.
Sanctuaries. They've
Fairy
existed
spots.
from the start.
Oh, okay.
Sanctuaries.
Yeah, the dust refuses to settle.
That's right. Sacred places.
Oh, he has one above the fireplace.
Oh,
You
neat.
could just faintly
Hovels
make it
for
out.
pure souls, if you will.
Maybe
Were
it is
there
the
originally
fairy
objects in those hovels? Something you didn't want us to see?
The soul's still there. We haven't touched a thing. But we know you can't see anything. Hey, Simon. Don't touch the sanctuary.
The fairy will possess you.
Sorry.
That's a sanctuary. Don't ever touch it again. You've been watching us for 4.5 years, and you couldn't even figure that much out.
It's my first time actually coming inside, you know.
You're earning far more than you deserve, then. What were you doing all day in that black Suburban? We thought wiretapping was your specialty. Don't tell me. Crossword puzzles. What do you think,
Yep,
my fairy?
4.5 years worth of crossword puzzles.
4.5 years. All that time. What does he have to show for it?
A paycheck. A really
Crossword
large
puzzle?
paycheck.
No way. Come on. I thought you knew.
I'm a Sudoku.
I'm a Sudoku guy.
Oh, fuck!
Agent Jones.
Oh!
Oh.
Oh, fucking bullseye!
I mean, really, what else was
He's
the
completely
option?
taken control
Yeah,
of the
that's
conversation. At this rate, we'll never get anywhere. I need to press him some more.
Still, though, I'm proud of that.
Well, I only have one option. It's to shit
Agent
talk Simon,
Jones?
unfortunately.
Did you find the
He
fire?
makes it so easy.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
No, only Sudoku.
There we go.
Mr. Morgan,
Greenvale.
do you recognize these files?
Right on the sanctuary.
Ow!
We told you. That's a sanctuary.
Let him go! Assaulting an FBI agent is an obstruction of
told you.
justice.
We told you. Go. Ah! Stay back. Stay back. Sanctuary.
He's really high.
Savannah.
Like, really,
Ah!
really high.
Ah! Yeah.
He's making bender noises.
Mr. Morgan? I cut my finger with that can opener this morning. I thought I stopped the bleeding, but it seeped through. How could I be so stupid?
Where's the can opener?
Everything should be fine now.
It's just an excuse for Iron.
I'm sorry for being so careless.
Right, but what does the blood have to do with anything?
Because it's red.
I made
Oh,
sure to read
shit.
through your file and learn about your condition. The color red. Such an unusual thing to fear. Please, accept my deepest apologies.
I'm sorry too, Morgan. I don't know what I was thinking. I'll never touch one of your sanctuaries ever again.
You tripped on a can.
And
It's
no
hardly his
more
fault.
red either.
Don't ever.
But I assume
Touch one.
York isn't really in a position
Again.
to, like, you know, judge someone's intentions.
Yeah, no, he's kind of crazy now.
I told them not to.
I mean, to be fair, he went through some shit.
Now,
Yeah.
may we return to our discussion?
He did have to fight a demon over a tree lady, and I mean, that's kind of
I won't let them
it's
touch
the
it.
kind of thing that makes someone a little crazy.
Yeah.
Strangely enough, this
Not to
man
mention
is a
dealing with the guy who killed his mother
And I
and his
believe that
girlfriend.
is connected to the Greenville.
And then there was the weird cross-dressing episode.
I honestly don't remember the mother and girlfriend thing.
Oh, so it turned out, like, it kept having flashbacks to, like, his dad shot his mother,
is a
and the
very
reason why,
large
as it
shredder.
turned out, was because someone put the seeds in his mom, and his dad had to kill her.
Oh,
Is there something you don't want people finding out about?
And
question.
that's what they used to kill the lady cop, which was his girlfriend.
We never know when some curious civil servants may come and sift through our trash now, do we?
You're already retired. What are you so worried about?
It's just a simple habit. From back when we were still on duty. Didn't they bang that into your head when you were up in Quantico? Some habits are hard to break, no matter how hard you try.
You're not gonna take my social insurance money? It's mine! It's my money!
Could you tell me what exactly the word sanctuary means to you?
Sanctuaries are sanctuaries. Nothing more and nothing less.
Thank you, York.
That doesn't explain anything.
As you were.
Why?
Define the word
wish to
bird.
know?
Bird.
Just curious.
Bell.
What was that one philosopher who plucked
You're
a
much
chicken?
ruder
Oh,
person.
Diogenes.
Yeah, it was like, behold, a man!
Yeah, because Plato said that, like, he was
Don't
trying to
you
define a
agree, my
man with
friend?
as few words as possible,
What
and he
do
said
our
featherless biped.
sanctuaries have to do if you're out of question?
Hey, mind if I jump in here?
Go ahead,
What is it, Simon? We hope you've got a real question for us.
Well, actually, I'm also a little curious myself.
So it's become kind of a
No
meme
one's
on the
supposed to
internet.
touch
So whenever
any
you see something with two
sanctuary,
legs
right?
and no feathers, you call it a man.
That's what we said.
What about you, though? You can't even touch them yourself? Are there any extenuating circumstances?
What are you getting at?
What if you drop a Skittle? Are you allowed to go get it? Or does it belong to the sanctuary
I
now?
mean,
It's the
I doubt
Fairies
if any of
Skittle.
this really matters, but if no one can touch the sanctuaries, then how do you clean them?
I don't. They just don't get dirty. It's magic. No answer.
Yeah, just I like it how, like, if you looked, every character looked at it, but one at a time, so independently of everyone else. So York really doesn't know.
Mr. Morgan,
Ugh.
I'd like to ask you some questions about this case now.
We don't want to remember that town.
I'm sorry, but there's no way
How
around
is that?
this.
Fuck.
I remember hearing about this case on the news when I was still a student. A high school girl named Anna Graham was murdered, and the FBI stepped in to take over the case. I also remember it becoming a sprawled investigation due to evidence found in the victim's throat. Is that correct?
Yeah.
After that case, you
Yeah,
went on
normally
sick
that
leave
means
for 2
something very
years.
different.
And when you returned, you requested to be switched over to desk work. What happened?
That's a private matter. None of your business, Bill.
Were you traumatized? It's a common problem with prolific agents such as yourself. But there's another possibility that may make more sense. Perhaps you simply finished making preparations.
For what? To live in a
What
small
are you
apartment
getting
and
at?
let everything get dusty because he never leaves his chair?
Thinking too much about something will always turn it into a problem. The Greenvale case.
He's just gonna sit in the chair for so long that he slowly
Don't you
becomes
think it
fused
resembles
to
the
it.
Luke Carre case?
Yeah, like Wasp Lady.
Wasp lady?
Yeah, they found this one lady who had, like, died in her chair and a bunch of wasps built a hive out of her body.
Holy fuck, I never heard about the wasp
We
thing.
have nothing
But I
else
did
to
hear
say.
about this one fat woman who couldn't get up off of the couch and her body had melted to it, so they had to bury
I
part of
just
the
need
couch with
one
her.
more touch.
Gross.
One more thing that can summon up the past.
Like, I'm not exactly the most active human being, but, like,
I still get up.
fuck.
To be fair, honeycomb
That's
honey is
royal
the
jelly.
best.
Huh?
You were staring at the jar, weren't you?
You were looking at my jar. My jar of
I
crud.
find it
I
strange.
do not understand how people
that
can
there's
get that
honeycomb
fat
inside.
and that lazy.
We wanted to
Like,
harvest
after a
royal jelly in
while,
its
I
most
have to get up and do
natural
something
state.
physical. Otherwise, I just have this nagging feeling all day.
The Queen's
Yeah.
main food source.
Like I got even when I want snacks, just like I'll walk. Well, like not on my work weeks, but I'll
By
walk to the
absorbing
convenience
into
store
our
and
own
get something because it's a opportunity to move.
Can acquire.
Because there's only so long I can breathe fucking
Did you
stale
know
air.
that all the worker bees are female?
No.
Guess they didn't teach you that at Quantico.
Yeah, the only male bees are the
only
elates.
born to
Yep.
inseminate.
Yep.
And they're born from
Hell of a
unfertilized
life.
eggs to boot. They have short lives and don't even get stingers.
Yeah, all they
Sort
do
of feels
is
like
fly to another hive and then mate.
Glimpse into the future of our society. Wouldn't you agree?
Oh shit, the male
Women
bees,
are
if they
gifted
don't
with
leave for
power
whatever
to
reason,
conceive,
will eventually be
birth,
killed and eaten
nourish
by the
their
other
children.
bees.
Yeah, because they're a waste of energy.
Yep.
But men are consumed with the job of providing women with the chance to do so. If women no longer had to rely on men for the seeds of life, they would soon cease to desire them, we believe. Be careful, son.
But then who would open pickle jars,
Huh?
Or reach
What?
the top shelf.
right?
Or fix cars.
Or parallel park.
Oh god. So I know, you know, it's like it's old think and sexist and all that shit to talk about the car shit. But I did see a great clip where a woman was trying to put the air in her tires and she couldn't get the hose to reach because it was sitting on her trunk. So the guy just no, it gets better. The guy picks it up, walks it around so that the hose was right next to her, and just puts it down because she was trying to take the tire off so she could lift it up to the air.
Oh my god.
Like,
That's
The
just
silver clock
overthinking
in that
shit.
trash pile.
That's right.
I was gonna say, there's
John Harrison's fifth chrono.
stereotypes
Completed in
usually don't come out of a
1770.
vacuum.
Yeah.
After many years, he completed it and presented it to the Board of Longitude in order to end their feud with him. That's only a replica, of course.
You like clocks?
Clocks are amazing.
Oh shit, speaking of clocks, I actually got a
Prime
really
fruit
nice
of
pocket
the
watch
human
other
race's
day.
intellect. We took the invisible
I
idea
got it from a
of
site called
time
Mandarake.
and manifested it in these.
Like,
Yeah, I love clocks too.
it's in theory a
Absolutely
used bookstore
fascinating.
in Japan.
I disagree.
But in reality, they sell just about anything that
Oh.
people will bring in, so long as it's
Why?
related to nerd shit.
Time is valuable precisely because it can't be
But they
seen.
sell, like, used
Yet nowadays
things.
people can't tell
So
what
this
time
pocket
it is
watch
unless it's measured in
Typically,
numbers.
it was
Talk about
a
idiocy.
Dragon Quest
I don't
prize
mean to
item
side with
that
the
you
Board
could
of
only get out
Longitude,
of a,
but remember, humans used to
Yeah,
cross
Vomachine.
oceans with the stars alone.
I got the silver one. I have no idea how much the gold
We have
one's
our
worth, but
eyes
the
to
silver
read
one is
moon
typically
charts and
like
study
an
the
$8
skies.
thing.
What if
But
it's
because
cloudy?
Japan has such high standards about like
All you need
the
is
packaging
courage
that collector's
and a
items
love
come in,
for
I got it for
adventure.
$8 because it had a tiny tear in it.
Hear that, my fairy?
I'm like, I was gonna open it anyway because it's a neat little
Courage
pocket watch.
and a love for adventure?
Like $8, I'll buy that.
I've gotten so many P Bandai kits for like nothing for the same reason.
Yeah, because the box is.
Well, like it's great because I'll always be like, "Hey, so I see you're selling this real cheap because the box is torn. Can I just get a picture to make sure that all of the shrink wrap is still good?"
Surely
I'll send
you
it to
know
you.
how
It's
many
like, okay,
lives
cool.
have been claimed
Here you go.
by your pals.
Here's a little extra for yourself.
Adventure.
$5 for a $50 kit, sure.
Right,
Yes.
especially for
Okay,
model kits
all
where
of
like you have to open them in order to.
That's the thing. Some people just buy them and keep them shrink wrapped in the box.
Why?
I don't know.
That's
What's
Board of
like?
Longitude.
What's the point? I just don't
What the
understand.
heck
Like,
is that?
I like to pose my shit, and like occasionally I'll switch them up, and sometimes I'll even
I mean,
put funny
I've heard
meme
of it
poses that I wonder if anyone ever sees.
Yeah, like when
Most
you put the
don't.
one Johnny Ryden in with the rest of your Shars.
Yeah. It took people a long time to realize that he's not supposed to be there.
Yeah.
I'm an FBI analyst, remember?
Oh, I actually got Johnny Ryden's
I just sort of
Gelgoop,
remember it.
and I
Oh,
put it in
now.
with them as well.
I know what it is, really.
Oh
I'm
man, it's
telling
great
you
too.
the
'cause
truth.
It sucks because he's the only one who has the high mobility
Come on,
Gelgoop
Aaliyah,
model kit
back
in
me up.
144 scale.
Aaliyah?
Which sucks because the high mobility Gelgoog was a really cool mobile suit.
Mr. Morgan, please
Just
look
like the
at this.
Gelgoog was fast, and the high mobility type was fucking faster.
What did we just
The
say?
Gelgoog was just on the whole pretty neat design too.
All in all, it
Don't
was like
want
the
to
closest thing to a Gundam that they had in that era. besides the
This
Gundam.
isn't a photo from Greenvale.
I think it actually outclassed the 2 lesser Gundams, like the gun cannon and the gun tank.
Look closely at
Like
it.
the main character ones that were made out of Gundanium.
Former Special Agent Francis Zach Moll.
Gundaniums from Gundam Wing.
Ah. Yeah.
It's the Gundanium alloy that can only be formed in space.
This photograph predates Greenvale. It's from the Lucare case you worked on in
Gundam's
2005.
weird with all the
So the tree was in Lucare.
Where was the car?
That's the case they're talking
Tree.
about.
Okay.
The one in Louisiana.
Red tree.
So
Yes.
we might have been scarred in
A
the
red
prequel.
tree.
No, because he wasn't scarred at the beginning of the first game.
Right.
He was scarred at the end of the last game, where he had to fight a demon, his girlfriend died, and he had to confront the fact that his dad shot his mom for legitimate reasons.
Greenvale wasn't the first
All because
place
of that
you saw
fucking
one
horrible
of
red
these.
tree and that fat laughing
The
man.
Greenvale case and the Lise Clarkson murder case. They're connected by these
Yeah,
red
he's had a rough
trees,
go of things.
Mhm.
aren't they?
Red trees.
Answer me. What are these trees?
Red trees.
We'll never
want
believe
the
him
truth.
even if he says...
Tell me everything you know.
Like, if we didn't play through the whole thing with Agent York,
I wouldn't believe it either.
especially
The
if he keeps
red
talking about
trees.
fairies and sanctuaries and shit.
Mhm.
You really did your homework.
Does that mean he didn't write
Well
about them in his
done.
report?
Well, you're
Evidently not.
good.
I mean, would you write about it? Or would you write about something that makes a
good.
certain amount of sense to an average person?
I mean, to be fair, when you're dealing with serial murderers, you don't really have to say that their motive made too much sense.
No, but, like, if you put...
Well, I mean,
Are you ready
like what
to
I would
talk
just say
now?
is like, yeah, they had
believes that
these
this-
highly addictive seeds, and it only grew inside like animal tissue, so crazy people kept force feeding them to murder victims.
Yeah.
I want to know what went down in Lucare
That's the
in
least crazy.
2005.
That's the way you can say it that makes you sound the least crazy.
Yeah.
The idea itself is still fucking insane, but it puts the onus on the other guys.
Or even that
tell
they
me.
believed that they would create seeds with magical powers if they grew them out of animal corpses.
Yeah.
So they kept
We'll
murdering
tell you
people to
what
get
happened
magic
in that
seeds.
town.
Pretty much. You got some Jack and the Beanstalk shit going on, and then I fought a demon.
So long
Did that
as
last part happen? Well, yes and no.
So long as
It
you
was
preface it with the
that
words
red
they
tree.
believe as opposed to there are, then
You could get away with a lot if you do that.
Yeah.
Remember, it's not libel if you believe that
It was.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding, it totally is.
I believe that you believe that.
Yeah.
No, it's not
A
libel.
sultry summer
I
day.
guess not. Yeah, you're not saying concretely that they believe
Sun
it. You're just
comes
saying
down
that you're under
hard
the
on
impression
the
they believe it.
Like a torrential downpour of demonic
Oh fuck.
whispers.
So lawyers can totally get disbarred for
It
lying.
all started
Or-
back in
Oh, yeah.
the
So a lot of what they'll
sweltering
say is my client has instructed me to
summer.
say.
We had our best friend with us.
That way, it's sort of like a code to the judge,
The other me.
where the judge can be like, well,
My
he's a lawyer, so
Better.
he's legally obligated to represent his client in the way the client wants to be represented, and apparently his client's a fucking moron. So here we are.
Yeah.
Apparently his client's a fucking moron. So here we are.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's the other thing too, where it's like the lawyer's like, I'm not going to drop the case because that makes it you look worse. But like the lawyer's like, I know you did it.
Yeah.
When somebody needs you.
Also, okay, so we're finally done. Also, this is going to be where I
Their
cut
only
things.
life. Never a choice when somebody needs you.